Okay, so I am back with another video. So it's the start of a new week, new training cycle. I just came off my second race of the season. It was a bit of a disappointing race, 7.13, as you'll probably have seen last week, I guess. But yeah, just not really, the season's not shaping up to how I was, hoping. But I don't know, I've been feeling really sort of down about it as well. Like, I've just not really been feeling just great, because it's I don't know, I guess I just keep thinking back to sort of when I ran my first ever 60 metre race, my first ever race, and I dropped a 7.05 without using blocks, first time doing it, not in super spikes, just in regular old spikes, and it's just damn, I don't know, I don't know how I've fallen off so hard, and how I'm just not doing as well. It's just very depressing. I feel there's an extent of my mind's maybe not fully in it at the moment. I feel last year opened up the season with 7.01. I mean, technically it was 7.08 is what I opened my season with, but 7.01 is what I sort of opened the year with, I guess, in 2023. And it's just I don't know, I just feel last year, how everything was going, sub 7 was almost a given with the form that I was in training, the form that I was showing, in my early competitions, and then this injury struck, and I feel ever since then I've just there's been something that's just been missing. There's that extra gear that I had when I went into competitions, that spark. It just doesn't feel it hasn't really felt like it's been there, and it's just really, I know it's really hard, and it's a big sort of struggle for me at the moment. It's I don't know, I'm questioning if it's a good idea to continue to sort of do sprints. Maybe I should go back to dunking and jumping and do something like that, because I still really enjoy doing that. But it's I don't know, I still feel I have potential in sprints, but it's just I don't know, I've just got self-doubts at the moment, I guess, and it's tough. And I know it's I know there's some people who'd be oh, maybe it's the training you're doing, but it's obviously John trained me last year, and I was in amazing shape then, and it's this year there's not really much difference. I mean, I've had less prep time, 8 weeks, technically less specific prep time, I guess. I was doing rehab for the first 8 weeks of my off season, so that was a sort of tough thing to sort of deal with, I guess. Maybe it's maybe I've just not had as much prep time, and that's why I'm not feeling as good. But I don't know, I don't want to fall back on that crutch and say this is why it's happening. It's I feel I still should be in a good enough shape, because even in 2021, I didn't sprint for a month other than doing tempo runs for the month of October, and then it was only, and then actually even the month of November, pretty much the whole of October and November, I didn't sprint in 2021, and I sort of reintroduced sprinting the end of November, and I had maybe 8 weeks of training, 12 weeks of training going into my first 60 metre competition. So it was I had two sprint cycles of pretty specific stuff towards sprinting, obviously, longer distance, sprint floats. I had that sort of longer distance speed endurance work, and then I had resisted sleds. But it's I had that prep time going into it, and it was 12 weeks of training, and this is also 12 weeks of training that I've had going in, and it's 12 weeks of more specific stuff. But I just feel I'm not feeling it as much. I'm not really feeling that spark at competitions. I don't feel as nervous, which I know would maybe sound like a good thing, but for me it's you want a level of nerves, and it's I feel my arousal level is probably not getting to that level, and it's how do I get that back? And I don't know the answer to that. It's I think the best thing I can do is probably just keep training, see how indoors goes, and then I'll assess things come outdoors as well, I guess, and just have to keep going and trust the process. But yeah, just struggling a lot mentally with it. But to say, back to it, got a little track session now, got some sled sprints, competed on Saturday, and I don't really feel sore because I didn't really run fast enough to earn the soreness to an extent. Since I didn't run fast enough, I should be able to just get straight back into training, which I guess is a positive. But yeah, 7:13, it's a 300th season best, but even so, I don't know, I'm just not satisfied with it. I just know I have more in me. But yeah, I'm gonna get to this workout anyway because this video bit's taking way too long, and yeah, I need to get into it. So I will see you on the track for some sled sprints.
On your marks. Get set. Go. You cheated nicely, bro. You cheated.
Right, so I am currently driving up to go and compete in the Scottish Champs tomorrow. I've stopped to get some food. I went to Nando's, which is like it's a British sort of like chain. It's in Australia as well. When I was there, I got Nando's as well. But yeah, so I've stopped to get some food, but I'll sort of like run you down on what the plan is. So competing the Scottish Championship heats tomorrow is my last chance to try and qualify for the semi-finals slash finals. So yeah, I'm like getting ready for that. This week's training has been a little bit slow. I'm trying to like multitask here and eat this at the same time. Maybe I should just do this intro thing first and then munch my food after. But yeah, so the plan is heading up tonight, so I'm gonna get there probably around about 10:30, 10:45 p.m. So I was working today, so that just means that I have to drive up. It's like 3.5 hours. It's a 3.5 hour drive. It's actually not too bad, and the roads are quiet, so that's like a win. So yeah, last chance to qualify. It's my first actually qualifying event, so it's like, it's not like this is like this big sort of thing I've been trying to qualify for. This is literally my first time trying to qualify for it this season. And the reason there's like a qualification heat on a separate day to the final is because the Emirates Arena is closed, which is where they usually host it. So yeah, I've got to kind of work around that, which has been, you know, it's been annoying all of indoors to not really have a consistent track that's like, you know, good quality, and I can actually get good quality training reps in. Over the winter, I've still managed to sort of make do with what I've got, and you know, I guess I have to be grateful that I've got a track even, but yeah, it's just not been ideal, honestly. So yeah, going up to Aberdeen to do that. This week training has went a little bit strange, so my calf felt like super tight on Monday, so I warmed up, it felt tight, did some sprints, it was feeling tight, did like 3 reps, and on the 3rd rep it felt like super tight, so I was like, right, I'm gonna cut this before, you know, something bad happens. So I did that, then was planning to probably sprint on Wednesday, but again my calf was just too tight, so I just had to cut the session on Wednesday. So I didn't do any sprints other than like racing a guy that challenged me to race, but that's, I don't know, I can get into that. So I met one of my other friends, mutual friends, and he was like, he found out I was a sprinter, so he's like, I want to race you, bro, I feel like I could beat you. So I had to give him the smoke, but it was like tempo run pace, it's like 85%, nothing strenuous really, you know, just cruising. But probably wasn't a good idea to do that with the calf situation, but I did it anyway, so you know, here I am. Did my shakeout yesterday, so Friday, and it felt, I could feel it during the warm-ups, like I could feel the tightness during the warm-ups. So it's like, I only really need to run one race to qualify. I don't need to do both, so it's whether or not I'm going to say, right, let's just focus on the first race and just get that race done and then just call it after that. Or if I feel good enough and the calf isn't really playing up, then I might just go and do the second one. As well, yesterday when doing the shakeout, I was doing some really reactive what I call TPV pulls, so time to peak velocity pulls. I'm just trying to pull it as fast as I can, you know, really barely bend the hips and just explode up. So I was doing those, and I was banging the bar against my leg quite a lot, and I've woke up this morning and my right quad is a little bit sore when I stretch it in sort of like a deep position. So I'm not sure how that's going to fare. I know when I did get a quad contusion, so this is when I ran a 100-meter race when I was back in like high school still, right? This is my last year in high school. I got a quad contusion on the Friday, and then I was running a 100 on the Tuesday, I want to say it was, so like Friday to Tuesday, and I pulled both my quads, and I think the quad contusion had something to do with it. It maybe was also that I just wasn't prepared, but that possibly could be an issue as well. That's something that's playing on my mind a little bit. So the calf and that are sort of my two main concerns. And then my adduct has just been tight. I just sort of feel like my body's honestly falling apart at this point, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll go and, as I say, warm up tomorrow, see how I feel. I'm gonna like pray that my calf, my hamstrings, my adductors, my quad, just all my body parts, all my lower body parts just are healthy enough to get one run, because one run's all I need to get a time up for qualification spot. It's top 4 qualifiers, so I think the fastest senior time so far is like 7.06. So, and then I think after that's like 7.16 or 7 point something. So that should be doable. You know, knock on wood, fine, things go well, but we'll warm up tomorrow, as I say, and I'll see, and I'll have to sort of evaluate if it's smart to run or not. I really do want to run so that I can get a qualification spot, but at the same time, I guess I've got to really think of my health. So yeah, that's the situation I'm in. Anyway, this is getting way too long, and I do need to eat my food so that I am, you know, fueled up and ready to go. So without further ado, I am going to eat this food now, and this has been like so long.